Greetings everybody, it's me Knight, and we're gonna make a hopefully a quick video. I'm not sure. Y'all know how I am. I kind of get long-winded sometimes, but I wanted to make a video about angels and deities, right? And just spirits that people out there may invoke or call in, other than your angels and guardians that you're born with. The reason I'm bringing this up is like, I'm not saying you guys might not notice if you do work with deities or certain angels, or maybe if you work with demons. I don't know what you all work out there with, but I'm noticing that some people may not realize that when you call a spirit um, to like protect you, and I mean, when I mean by protect you, right, I'm not talking about like, all right, you asking certain spirits just to get you some money or get you stuff. I'm talking about like actually protect you. Um, be aware of like what spirit you call on. So I'll give you an example. If you use certain ancient deities that are more like from the Mediterranean area, right? Like Mesopotamia or ancient Greece, maybe even Egypt, but more so like ancient Greece in that area. Some of those spirits were known to protect the home. So you know, with this, um, for example, like Hecate is a one that's very well known, and she can help you and guide you. Um, Same thing with like some people are trying to tap into the energy of Ishtar and certain things, and I noticed that some of these spirits, depending on their energy, and your family lineage and your karma, they can go past that. So like you might think they're just gonna help you, and they might actually help, or I would rather say protect other people in your family. So they might not help them as far as they're helping you. As for example, like say if you're trying to clear energy out of your home, trying to make abundance, they'll help you with that part. But then if they know that you're concerned about your mother who doesn't live in your house, right, or your sister, they can like travel and just seek them out, without them conjuring it. And the reason why I'm saying is because when I looked at my younger self, when I was younger, I had a guide. It's pretty much like a deity in it, and I thought it was just with me, but I noticed that sometimes it would watch over mainly my sister, my mom. It wouldn't really bother my dad because I guess it could tell that I was distant from him, but it noted it would go around people I was more immediate around. And the only reason I knew this is not because the spirit told me this. It's more so one time my sister, which she never really does because my sister doesn't do what I do, but when she was younger, she decided to get a reading from a medium, right? That wasn't me, somebody else. And she got this reading, and she was talking about the medium was telling her about her career and everything like that. Because my sister went there just for a love reading and career, nothing about spirits or deities. Because my sister doesn't do that, right? She's like Christian and all that, somewhat Christian. She's not perfect, but at that time she still wanted to get a reading. But long story short, so she got that reading, and the lady told her there's a certain spirit around her that comes around. And I'm not gonna say the name of the spirit, but my sister comes back to me and tells me, this woman I went to see, she says she mentioned the angel that you said you had around you. And I was like, what? And so I found that was very interesting that this spirit that appeared to as an angel to my sister, but it wanted to show itself as an angel because a lot of times deities and spirits, whether they're goddess forms or whatever, they can tell other individuals and mediums that they're angels, but they're goddesses, because I noticed they like to cloak themselves, right? And I thought that was very interesting because I feel like some people feel like, well, I'm working with this spirit. I just feel like it's just going to protect me and maybe my husband or my wife just in this house, the house that I live in. But you might not realize the spirit that you're working with might be known not only to just protect the people in the home, but it might protect somebody that you dearly love, like your grandmother or your mother, and they don't really have to be in the home if they're alive. This makes sense. And this is something I noticed. So y'all probably want to look into that. Again, some of you guys might be working with deities that you know this about already, that they do these things. Okay, I just know that I've had this happen 2 times to me when I was younger, and these energies still kind of come around because I think I made this in the video before. Whether you invoke an angel or a spirit or whatever at this current time, or you looking for signs for them, a lot of times they already know they're going to come to you. They just have to wait for you to hit a certain age or a certain timeline in your life. So you might not have ever been interested in spirits or deities when you were like 15, 16 years old or 25, but all of a sudden you get the urge to do it at 35. Then that was the time. This makes sense? But they know this though, and they throw you hints and signs, right? And they show you clues. Okay, it's no different when the omnipresent God source that created us all tries to show us signs, but we ignore it or we don't really notice them because we're too distracted, right? And that's how they are, right? And then sometimes you don't have, a lot of times I notice that people have spirits around them that they don't even invoke. You know, it's like when I got contacted by the Hecate and Lilith energy a long time ago, as a child, like young youth, I didn't realize what these energies were. I kept seeing these energies, and then when I saw them, because I grew up Christian, I didn't know what these spirits were until later on, when I got older, I was like, oh my God, right? And what was scary about that is as a Christian, like my parents don't do anything magical or nothing like that. And back when I was growing up, right? Because you don't know, I'm 39. I'll be 40 this Friday. I'm not hearing these things. Back in the time frame, we didn't have TikTok. We didn't have YouTube like this, right? And I was born in the mid '80s, '84, right? So how am I gonna know what that is in the late '90s? You know, getting with this. And even when I went to Italy, right? When I was living in Italy, when I was a child, I lived in Italy from the age of 11 to 13. Nobody's talking about these spirits. You know what I'm getting with this? My father, in case y'all don't know, I'm mixed, right? My father speaks Greek and all that, so he never told me about Hecate. This makes sense, all right? Maybe in his ancient bloodline, he might have something. I don't know. It's kind of spooky, guys, because like when these energies come, and I have a lot more energies that came to me, it's like it make you wonder, like, am I evil? Did I do something wrong? Well, if they're gonna come, they're gonna come, right? It's creepy at that time frame, and you just adjust, and it's things like that that made me question, like our spirit, like how can I say? Even though we all come from the omnipresent Creator, it just makes you question, like, as humans, of course, we're not gonna know everything about life, but it just intrigues me. It interests me, like how certain spirits just come to certain families and certain people, right? No matter where they live around the world, you know? Because I live in America, I'm not near that location. Of course, I live in Europe. My sister was born in Berlin, Germany, right? And I've been all around growing up, but it's just like, it just blows my mind. And this is what makes me interested in talk about things like this, because in my family, you know, some people are light skinned, some people are Caucasian, some people are brown skinned, some people are black, because everybody's mixed. Some people got green eyes, some got brown eyes, but we have so many different lineages, but nobody practices anything. Like, nobody does tarot, nobody does anything I'm doing. But growing up, I wasn't into this, but to be a person that can hear spirits, to see spirits, it would trip me out. And when I read the Bible, it's not really answering none of the questions. And then when I see my grandfather and people like that, when they're passed, it doesn't help me. The only thing that was shown was like angels telling me things, and sometimes I would see negative spirits telling me things, right? And so I'm just bringing this up, guys. You know, other than your angels that you have, sometimes you might not realize you have a spirit or a deity that may come around you. That doesn't mean you gotta allow it to help you, right? You didn't even invoke it, right? You might not even be doing anything magical or tarot. You don't get with this? It's just you, and a lot of times it might not be your family. It might be like a part of your soul contract. Does this make sense? Because like when I started meditating and also mainly just praying, and also just in my dream world, they would show me things that's on my contract of certain energies and certain people I'm supposed to meet that are humans, and also certain spirits that's supposed to help me along the way, and certain ascendant masters. And a lot of energies are just nameless. And it's just interesting. I'm just making this video, guys. Just look more into yourself. You know, maybe you'll realize that your angel that you have is not just an angel. Maybe you have an archangel. It doesn't mean that you're better than anybody. Maybe it just wants to come back to bring you to, how can I say, a soul retrieval, to put you more in empowerment right now, right? Kind of how you used to be in your past life. Maybe you need to be bringing something to this life that you had in your past life. You don't get with this? Or maybe they're trying to prevent certain things that happened to you in the past life to bring into this life. So it just makes sense. Kind of like when I first saw like Archangel Michael. I remember I had a vision, and I was walking, and I was in California, walking down the street, and all of a sudden an earthquake happened, right? And as soon as the earthquake happened, I saw like cars wrecking. I kept running outside, pulling people outside their trucks, because there are people stuck in their cars, and I was pulling them out. And every time I pulled them out, I got this influx of strength, and what was behind me was Archangel Michael, and I was just pulling people out. My soul didn't want to stop helping people. And then I got so tired, I remember I ran into this like schoolhouse to go to the bathroom. For some reason, I had to go to the bathroom. When I went to the bathroom, I looked in the mirror and I saw a silhouette behind me of Archangel Michael. When I looked in my eyes were like purple. It's like how I have brown pupils, but imagine it's just purple pretty much. And then I was just crying, and because I had so much emotion for the people that I was helping. It was just wild, man. Like, it's just things like that. And when I mean an angel, right, it doesn't have a physical form like me. It's just a silhouette, right? I can definitely tell it's a masculine, but it's see-through, clear. But because of the energy I felt off of it, it threw its thoughts in my thoughts, and that's how I was able to understand that it was Archangel Michael. Just so you guys know, because most time when I see angels, most time they're translucent. They're like they have silhouettes. The only time I've seen a spirit really show up form, like I said before, in this home I saw it was Hecate, and then I saw in physical form Lilith. There's no spirit I've ever seen this actual an angelic form or some type of goddess form in person, but those two, most time angels and other energies are more clear. I've seen shadow spirits. Most of the time they don't show up as people, they're apparitions, right? When I've seen passed on loved ones, a lot of times they'll show up in full form, right? They'll show up in full form, and if they don't show up in full form, I'll hear them talk to me, okay? Same thing with random spirits that walk down the street. They are following people's family members, following them around. It's just people, or I see like their aura, or I see orbs. It just depends on the person's vibration that passed away, and that's how I see spirits, okay? Same thing with animals and sprites and stuff like that, and things like that. But again, guys, just look more into yourself, guys. I feel like the same things that I'm mentioning right now, I feel like everybody's gifted with the same things. It's just a certain time for it to be open. And I feel like if your stuff is not open, a lot of times it might not be meant for this life. And like I said before, you might have, sadly to say, you might have misused your intuitive gifts or your magic, or whatever you like to do in the past life. So in this life, it was kind of like dormant. It's not meant for you to open it. It's kind of like a karma. Doesn't mean you're a bad person in this life, but it's something your last life that you did, right? So just look deeper into that. But again, I just wanted to bring this up, guys. When we're talking about spirits, deities, everything's not what it seems. And again, I've seen angels that come as goddess forms, and I've seen where I've had people who are practitioners, and the spirits will tell me they're angels, but then when they go to the practitioners, they'll tell them they're some type of god or goddess form, but they're angels, guys, right? And I'm not going to sit here and say they're fallen angels or whatnot. I'm just telling you they're angels. So I just telling people, doesn't mean they're bad or good. I'm just telling you what I see, okay? Yeah. So again, just be aware, man. Certain spirits, like the whole original topic, with some spirits, they can help you more than just you. They can help your whole family, depending on their will, other than you asking, right? Because that's something that tripped me out. Like, a spirit came to me and it ended up helping certain people in my family, but it still was more around me dominantly, right? The guides that I'm talking about, they're more around me dominantly, but they would, if they choose to at certain time periods, help my sister or certain people, especially if they feel like I'm sad. Like, for example, if I'm sad about my mom going through something, or my sister, I know it's, and they'll make a move on it because they didn't want me sad. And the only way they can make me not sad is to go help my sister, right? Does it make sense? But again, man, I thought it was pretty interesting. It's kind of, so I guess I don't know what I'm gonna call this. I was gonna just call this deity / like spirits, angels, but I might just call it like deity / spirits / story time again. I don't know. I just was in the mood to talk. Like I said, I really didn't want to record, but y'all, if y'all been with me long enough, most of the time I'm doing readings. But every once in a while, I put a video out like this, and if I sound repetitive and y'all heard something similar to this in one of my other videos, I'm just doing this because I probably got some people who ain't seen it yet or thought about it. But again, it's just a thought, guys, and it's something I've seen. You know, it's something I know. Even when I was in the military, I seen spirits on the ship. So just be it. And then a lot of times they're bad, some of them are good. It is what it is. You know, I just wanted to talk about my experiences with deities and spirits. Yeah. And, oh, one more thing before I end it. A lot of times, also again too, if you are a practitioner, be mindful of what you're working with so you don't owe a debt. Okay. Also, sometimes when spirits come back, whether they're angels, certain deities, sometimes because you have unfinished business to do with that spirit. Not that you're bad or anything like that. You might have chose to be helped by that spirit in the past life, and you might have like 50 more years to work with this spirit, or 2 more lifetimes to work with spirit. So this spirit came to you. So a lot of times when you feel like you're being called by a spirit or an angel or a deity or a goddess or God form, a lot of times you got unfinished business. And some of you guys might stem from, how can I say, your soul might be very connected to that spirit because of, you might have ties within the afterlife. All right, because I'm a firm believer when I think, when you have, like, when people want to think about heavenly states and hell states or just being earthbound, like, there's so many different type of spirits that was created by the omnipresent force. Even if you want to feel like a spirit rebelled against the omnipresent force, it still was allowed to be here, and it's still here. Okay, and it's been here since the beginning of humanity rising, you know. And so just be aware, man. It's so many things more than what we read in the Bible or certain mythology books that these spirits can do. But just be mindful when you work with them, if you are a person to work with, or just talking to your own angel. Don't test the water too much unless you don't care, because you don't really want to owe a debt. And a lot of times some of these energies are here because they remember you from a past life, because that's something that was told to me. One of the spirits is around me because of a past life. It's something that I did in a past life that I vaguely remember, and it just came back, and it's like I can't really get rid of it. It just guides me, but I can't really do nothing about it. I'm not God, you know, right? It is what it is. But it's a positive energy, but it's just, you know, it is what it is, right? Just like I told you guys before, I have family members around me, but I also have past life spirits around me that help me out. And that's why, if y'all notice my readings, I make past life readings sometimes, because not just because I want you to know who you were. I get past life visions, but also I know for a fact I have, if I'm not mistaken, 2 or 3 past life spirit guides that protect me and guide me, and they don't look nothing like my lineage. Does this make sense? I have one guy. I'm not gonna say his name. I got one male who's British, right? Literally British. He's probably like from the 1800s. He has like this outfit on from that time frame. The haircut, you can't make this up, and he's always watching over me. Then I have a female, same thing, right? Now, at first, when I saw him, I thought he was from my great-great-grandmother, because my great-great-grandmother, she migrated from Britain, right? She's a European lady. I thought that was somebody who was related to her when I was starting to, like, look at my family tree, but then I realized, no, he's different. And so that's why it's confusing. Even when I see Native Americans or African Americans, I'll be like, well, are they my family, or is that a past life? Because I know for me, I was different cultures in different times. So a lot of times, some of the people I'm seeing, even if they're brown, they don't look like anybody in my family. So I'm like, who are these people? So that's when I realized, okay, this is past life. And so that's when I do past life readings for you, sometimes I'm compelled to do it because of my guides, because I feel like some of you guys out there, other than your own family members watching over you and your angels, or if you work with deities, you have past life people, you know. Like I have one lady that was a lover of mine who did not incarnate, and she watches over me. She was a soulmate. She ascended so high she didn't need to incarnate, but she wanted to watch over me. It's kind of wild to me, and she's not even the same culture as me at all. So that's what inspires me. So if y'all want to know, man, why is Night makes a lot of past life and karma stuff, right, on his pick pile. Well, that's one of the reasons. I do a lot of other things, right? What's coming new to you and all that, but it's that because like I feel like when people talk about past life, they just talk about themselves, what they did, but they don't realize like you have so much a part of your soul tribe that's watching over you more than what you think. You gotta be optimistic, right? And so I'm gonna end it there, guys. I don't really feel like I have too much to say on that, but I'm going to be, again, like I stated before, I'm going to be doing more, tarot readings, pick a pause, and every once in a while, if y'all new to this channel, welcome. Thank you for y'all support. I'm going to be doing story times, not always like this, but most time like this. I do think somebody asked me, but they wanted to hear a military story. I might tell a military story. I don't know. I got a lot of crazy military stories. When my ship got hit by a submarine when I was in Iraq, it was bad. We were sinking in the water. It was really crazy. I didn't know if I was gonna make it out. I was like 23. It was horrible, 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 horrible. This was like when Bush was in office. That's how old I am. And I got a lot of crazy stories. I got ghost stories, ghosts that I've seen in the ships, and oh my God, crazy stuff. Pirate hunting, this stuff. Cause I heard 1 or 2 people, I don't know their names, wanted me to talk about military stuff for some reason. I guess they might have a family member in the military. I don't know. Yeah, cause in case you guys don't know, I was in the Navy, right? But I was also attached with Marines, so it's like corpsman. So like when you're a corpsman, you can work with military, you can work with Marines and Navy. Does this make sense to you? And I visited almost 20, 30 countries, and also I'm a military brat. My dad was in the Army. He was in 21 years, artillery. He was in Desert Storm. My dad was in the war. So we've done a lot, and I've been to college as well, studied kinesiology. So I got a lot of ghost stories I'm gonna talk about. I want to talk about a lot of ghost stories, a lot of things I've seen in the spirit world without meditating. Before I even did tarot, I was always seeing stuff. I can't control it since I was 3. So I just said that brief little message for my new people out there who are like, why is this guy talk about this stuff? Is he reading books about this stuff? No. It's all just my experiences, right? And I only say it just to inspire some people out there. If you got a channel, or even if you're not brave enough to have a channel, if you're around friends and family, don't be scared to share your story if you feel it's safe and they're not gonna like make you feel bad. Share your story to your family members. You know what I'm saying? Like, share it. I feel like more people need to come out and speak it. You know, don't just because like we don't. It makes people brush it off like spirit world is not real. You know, and it really is. It's more than just angels or demons. I keep telling people this. It's more than like judgment. There's so many like different levels of spirituality, like, and so many different types of spirits, guys. It's just mind blowing. It's amazing, right? Because I know everybody wants to think about aliens and star seeds, but like, do y'all know how many different kinds of spirits we have? Do you know what happens if you get your vibration at a certain like frequency? What you can possibly do when you leave this earth? Like, I've seen some crazy stuff that spirits have done. It's crazy. But again, with that being said, my name is Knight. If y'all enjoyed the video, thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Blessed be everybody.